at the MCI Heritage. But one of the three leaders coming into the round, Fred Couples, opens with the first, knocks it in that greenside bunker, leaves it in the sand, and then holds his fourth shot for birdie. Thrilling all his followers here in the town of his youth, where he went to college at the University of Houston. Large group there, -10. So very congested leaderboard as we pick up the action live with a birdie effort. 6th hole, Fred Couples.
393-yard par 4. Relatively simple hole. Just put it in the fairway.
And we head back out to the first 9, 7th hole.
And Fred Couples, this hole, 498 yards.
Well, they've cut them a break today. They moved the tee up 4 yards. It's only 494.
Well, the pin's a little short of center, so it might not be playing quite that yardage. And Fred.
Stand, please.
Oh, it's another unbelievable line. Oh, man. I can't believe both those guys hit it right at the flag.
And now Fred Couples.
Well, Calcabega was the guinea pig. Freddy with 6 now. Should be the right stick.
He has knocked it close the last 2 days here.
Very accessible pin in this right front.
Look at this for the 3rd day in a row.
And Fred Couples looking at about 6 feet. Slightly uphill, moving from his right to his left. That's a lack of concentration. You've got a simple putt like that. That is just a hole previously still balling Fred and not paying attention to business.
Yes, America's Most Watched Network as we go out to the 9th.
We got a par 5 here. Freddie hit driver 3 iron here yesterday. The low grown, they're clapping, they like it.
It's a typical Fred Couples crowd here, Gary.
And what is that, David?
They all love him, and about 25% of them are in love with him.
David Faraday, what's he got?
He's 246 to the front edge, 264 to the hole. He has 2 iron out.
Aha. Gonna hit some kind of hard, clever hook in here, I think.
He might have been trying to do that, but it actually turned into a high fade right at the front left corner.
That's a nice play right there. He's got that ball back in back part of this green. We've got a lot of chipping areas on this golf course where the ball runs through it.
And we go on to the play at the 9th.
Well, let's keep the numbers going. 43-year-old Freddie Couples gave it a whack with his putter. Excellent choice.
Excellent effort there. About 25 feet of fringe, sloping 3 different ways.
To the 9th.
Birdie putt, Freddie Couples. Bellied it up right in the middle. Finished as he started off. 11 under.
Fred Couples had the tee.
It's like Freddie's going with the fairway metal, just trying to put it in the fairway. Length not really needed that desperately this hole.
And Lanny, Freddie looks really comfortable swinging within himself. Everything looks in place. Just that hiccup on 7.
Teammate from the Hyundai matches. They've won 2 of the last 4 years there in Newport Beach. Now they're paired together today. Fred Couples.
Well, from 160 yards, Freddie hit a hard 9 iron, knowing that he couldn't hit it over the back.
Nice play. Not as close as he would have liked, but he's still left with 25 feet for his birdie.
I would, if I could get cell phone service, I'd probably dial 911.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. I don't really like the hook very much from this lie, and he is looking up in the sky.
That's the problem out of the rough. You can't spin it enough to really turn it, especially with a short shot like that.
Exactly, and he might go with sandwich. He's got 137 to the front edge, 160 to the hole. Might be able to really rip a sand wedge up in there. Now he's looking right.
Well, you can't go at this flag today because it's on that crest, and if you go long, it just trickles down onto some menacing bunkers over the green. Pretty elevated green, this 11th.
Like a little hook practice swing.
I like that play.
And he's got 9 iron, so he is going to try and run this up. The danger is really just shooting out straight on him, going over the back right.
And he's got some bleachers over there to block him, so it can't go too far.
for it to turn.
I didn't appear to like it, but I think all in all, that's remarkable, David.
Now, it's a very good shot. It's a longer putt than he would have liked on a short par 4, but really a very good shot from there.
For birdie.
He's put that on a great line.
Okay, on the tee, par 5, Freddy Couples.
Well, a little extra into that one.
Yeah, it was. You could see that.
With smoke down the right-hand side, it should be perfect.
At that age, you can't do that all the time, right, David? Every once in a while, you got to give it a whack.
No, something would fall out.
Yeah. On the ground, you got to put it back.
Well, that was interesting. You could see Joe wanted him to hit one more.
Freddie just doesn't want to miss it long left, right where Calc is. I don't think he can get the ball up and down from there. It's really difficult. So anything short right of this pin, we're not quite sure yet.
Yeah, Freddie knew that Joe wanted him to hit one more here. This is beautiful caddy player interplay.
We just got a graphic up here, David. Freddy Couples 351 on this hole.
5 iron.
Tee.
That's pretty impressive for an elderly person.
Elderly, yes.
Gary, the toughest thing right now Freddie's got to do is stay committed to this shot, though. When you have this much indecision, he really has to commit to doing what he needs to do right now.
This ball will miss somewhere to the right.
Okay, it's trying to miss somewhere to the left. Now, he was trying to hit a big cut in there. He's yelling at it.
That's not good. No. It's kind of just where you don't want to go. Freddie, you can see he's got that thing open wide up at sand wedge. Looks like he's going to take the high road here. No, just what David said. He bounced it right against that hill. 2 pretty good shots there, don't you think, Dave?
Well, Freddie sets up like a flop and then plays the low one. He it's often hard to tell what he's going to do, but that was the right choice there, obviously.
Freddie goes to 12 under par with that birdie here. Driver 5 iron, holes 577. Work the back out a little bit.
And Fred Couples setting up on the left side of the tee.
I'm going to try and play a nice high fade with a 7 iron here, Peter.
Aim at the middle of the green, work it back towards the flag and keep the right-hand bunker out of play.
Get all over. Oh boy, that's just what he did. Started about 6 feet left, drifting back right on line.
And softly it does. He's hit some beautiful shots at par 3s, 3 of them at the 8th hole, and that's a beauty here. Now Fred Couples for a birdie at 13. Downhill, left to right, and what a beauty. Freddy and Calcavecchia have played a lot together over the years. Both birdie. There you go. Teammates almost. The rough. To 14.
And Fred Couples now only 1 back.
Going with a fairway medal, just knows he has to put it in the fairway.
Boy, that looks like fun.
It's fun when it works, David.
Well, Freddie with 144, pitching wedge. And he is hitting the ball hard. I mean, that's a big pitching wedge, Lenny.
It really is, David, but, with that pin where it is, he needs to hit this one firm. Take that right side out of play. Pin sitting only 6 from the right edge.
Left of the hole. Very little.
Excellent play, David. By hitting it firm, he eliminates the right side. David, not a lot of movement in a lot of these greens. Just very slight.
They're pretty flat, and they're actually quite hard to read as a consequence. There's not that much obvious slope.
And when you have that, you have what Freddie had right here. You get over the putt, and all of a sudden it looks a little different, so you have to back off and take a look again just to reaffirm what you first thought.
That ties the lead.
Freddie's back on track, Jim. Starting to look like he's really playing within himself now, getting comfortable up around the lead. Looked a little shaky at first, like he might, this hadn't happened to him in a while, and now he's looking very comfortable.
Couples in trouble off the tee, had to lay up, and this is really a tough shot, David Faraday.
Nice line with the grain in the rough. 60-degree sandwich, 90 yards. Going to try and toss this one very high and land it soft.
this one where you need to spin it, and the lie's going to preclude him from doing so.
That's struggling. Needs to work to get up there.
Oh, magic!
That's not the way he wanted to do it. It'll work, though.
A little hometown magic for Fred Couples. Now Couples.
When was the last time one of these guys made a par?
Exactly. And they both will birdie the 15th hole. And they're both at 15 under. Couples and Calcavecchia now tied for the lead in the third round of the Shell Houston Open, and we'll be right back with more golf action.
Player he has tangled with a number of times, including right here in Texas. They went to a playoff back in '87 at the Byron Nelson. Holes one on the third hole. Of a sudden, that they're tied now. We got to the 16th.
Oh, they love it, don't they? I think they're just like Freddy. Pounded that one down the right-hand side.
That's Miles as
That
well.
is Miles. That's right there with Hank Keeney. Of course, David, I know you're going to be down there to rate it for me.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Freddie went over there to get Calix divot, of course, when he's wandering around. If we're looking at Freddie here, there'll be a few twitches, some stretches, a pull. He'll have a club in the back there.
There we go. Let's all stretch with Freddie. Okay, it'll be a
couple of hitches. There's the pants.
Good. There.
A wipe.
I got that one in. Got to get the grip here. Okay. You know you're on national television. Go ahead, do it. Oh, there it is.
Another stretch.
Yeah, I'm doing them all here. And now to the waist. I feel pretty good, David.
Okay.
Oh, there's the arm. I'll do that one. I'm not bending over.
Little gardening. Another throw in the air.
Oh, left arm again. Got that.
Slightly left to right, slightly to help. Should be a perfect one of those.
Double stretch.
Slightly left to right,
Twitch.
slightly help.
Oh, my heartbeat's up to about 160 now.
There's that one moment where he stands still, where he's just imagining the shot. Get over it. There'll be a couple more hitches.
David, I'm exhausted.
That's a wedge.
Get it, ready?
And a good-looking one.
Gotta go. Release. Freddie Couples, after all of that, I would be tired too, Freddie. You didn't get it there. He's tied for the lead with his buddy, Mark Calcavecchia.
And we go back out to 16.
This is for 5 in a row. All you golf heads out there, how many of you made 5 in a row? This is for 5 in a row.
That's robbery with violence.
Par. Freddie remains at 15 under. 4 under par for the day since he made that double back on the 7th. That's going to come back. Ooh, there you see it right there.
Earlier, Fred Couples lined up way to the left as he usually does.
Well, Freddie started it right on the same line. It didn't cut as much.
Skipping past the bunkers. Not as far as Hank Keeney, so the tree's not a factor for Fred.
Well, Freddie has a real problem here, Peter. This is one of those lies I was talking about that, well, it could come out, float out like an air biscuit, or it could come out hot. And it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Freddie catch a flyer here and just rip it over the bank. That's the mistake, rather than floating it into the water in the front.
How many times has he changed clubs so far?
I think that's 4. He's gone with 9 iron, 154 yards. And just looking at this big pine in front of him, he's got to go over the right edge of it or around it a little bit. This is maybe one of the toughest shots he's had all day.
And the pin placement looks a bit more difficult than it really is.
Yeah, it looks pretty intimidating from back here in the fairway. Over on the left there, it looks like it's tucked behind the little mound.
But there's about 20 yards from the top of the mound, almost 10 yards of fringe, then about 10 yards of green to the cup. So a lot more room than it appears. He is just going over every facet of this shot.
He's absolutely certain that he's not sure.
Now he's looking way up in the air. Joe LaCava just has to say, Fred, you're a talented guy. Take the wedge and smash it. Take the 9 and smash it. Whatever it is, you've got the talent to hit any shot.
Well, staying with the 9-iron. Looking very high. And I have to think that he wants this one to come out quickly.
It's the lean as if it's too far right. He gets a nice bounce.
That's a very good effort.
Pretty good result. For as much indecision as there was there. This is to be 5 under on the second 9. And a little work to do.
Now back on the tee, Fred Couples. Keeney's made a very nice comeback after getting staggered a bit at the start.
Freddy's going with driver here, Jim, which means he has to take this left to right. That would be the shot that would fit his eye.
You haven't been a big fan of driver here today, huh?
Not for these big hitters. Water is too much in play down the left-hand side.
Oh, he's absolutely smoked that down the middle. Just a perfect power fade.
Of course, when you're swinging the club as well as Freddy is and controlling the flight and the trajectory of it, you know, that's what he feels comfortable with doing. So that's a nice play.
Well, Joe LeCompte gives him 157 out of 158. He has a 9-iron, and again, you know, it's one of those very full 9-irons. Not a whole lot of danger of hitting it over the back here. He can go right ahead and thump it.
This green's checked up pretty well today, David. It really hasn't released when it's carried back around the hole.
Boy, he got all of that one. A good-looking shot again.
Oh, what a shot.
That's as close as we've seen anybody in a long time.
And it would be loud.
6-7 feet down the hill, moves slightly from his left to his right. He's got the lead. Poured that right in the middle.
67 and the lead by 1. Saw very few putts hold today at 18. 19 times he's been the leader through 3 rounds. Won 8 of those occasions. This was the perfect line and speed.
One of the few people we've seen hit at the right speed.
Well, you could see the season's been building to this. Out on the West Coast at San Diego, we first got a hint that the game might be coming back, and he had a strong final round at Riviera. The final round of the Houston Open is underway, and Fred Couples with a birdie putt at the 4th to take the lead back outright. He had opened the final round in front by 1, but Mark Calcavecchia with back-to-back birdies at the start had caught him. Then a double bogey slip up by Calc at the 4th, only to get one back just moments ago. Birdie at the 5th.
Freddy is really swinging well, and he's looking at 71 yards here to the hole. Just a little wedge. Pin is tucked in 4 from the right side today. One of 12 pins, only 4 steps from the edge. They have really hidden these pins today.
So these two in the final pairing, former Ryder Cup and President's Cup teammates, very comfortable playing together, and very pleased to be in this last group side by side. Couples outside of Calcavecchia there at the 6th. He will not be all that pleased with that one. 6th. And Couples trying to increase his lead to 3.
It's good speed. Fred's putting stroke has looked as solid as I've seen it look in years, Jim. He is really rolling the ball well.
Back on the tee, Fred Couples at this 498-yard par 4. David Fairty is with the final twosome.
That one is going to try to sneak out onto the right edge of the fairway. Oh, that's a great tee shot.
Well, that might shorten the hole. Let's see if he's clear of that tree in the right-hand rough. The pin way over on the right. It's a monster green and a really challenging hole. And Fred was a little lazy on his second shot here yesterday, but that was out of the short rough left side.
tough shot here today, Peter, but this is doable. He's got 172 yards on line with the flag to carry the front edge of the green. The flag on a further 7. That's 6 iron on the way.
Oh, it's heavy.
And it's right. Well, I saw water kick up. That certainly landed in the edge of the water. And he's going to drop back there far enough, you know, right on about 107, 108 yards where he can get a sand wedge at this and throw it in behind the hole, Peter. Hopefully spin this back close.
And it really is a monster green. Almost, it's just over 50 yards from the front left corner to the back right. Well, anything more than 10 or 12 feet away here would be a disappointment.
Well, he's got a full sand wedge shot. A little into the breeze off the right. He really should be able to spin this one hard.
Also, if he lands it a little short, then he runs, it's landing into an upslope. Danger of spinning the ball back towards the fringe again.
He's thrown that way past the hole. Oh, that'll be...
A challenging putt, downhill, down green, and not in the best frame of mind. And Fred Couples' putt for a bogey.
He's got a lot of left to right in it as well as the downhill.
The speed is the key. He knows he can come back from a double bogey. He did it yesterday. Well, that's not dead yet.
Yeah, for that, let's go back to 8 real quick.
Well, Fred Couples has had some success on this hole this week. He stiffed it the first 2 rounds and was in there pretty good yesterday, about 8-10 feet.
Should have made the one yesterday, and he can launch it as high as anyone. And he came out of that shot to the right. Same play did the last hole, only this time he's left with about 60 feet coming over that hump. Very difficult 2-putt from here.
That was a good shot yesterday, too.
Back live at the Shell Houston Open Redstone Golf Club. Fred Couples, co-leader with Calcavecchia, tied but in tight.
David, what does this look like?
Boy, it's an epic roller coaster left to right, kind of straightening up at the end.
How about straight toward the...
Oh, yes! Like I said, tough 2-putt.
Rough. David Freddy, I would imagine that is just a layup from Freddie.
Yeah, he was way back there, got caught up, tangled in the crowd, bounced backwards with his tee shot. 333 to the hole, so he just put it back in play.
Okay, Freddie Couples' third shot live here, 115 yards.
Just a little pitching wedge into pretty strong breeze now, Gary.
Excellent golf shot right there. And new greens too, obviously. It's the first time we've played this golf course, Redstone Golf Club, and they have no clue at this point, only playing probably practice round, pro-am. They're in their 6th round on this golf course right now, so they're not real comfortable which way the little nuances are back in these back pins. As Laney Watkins said, they've got them all tucked today way in the corners. You can see Freddie's having a little trouble with the Sunday rounds, ranked 140th on the tour. Exchanging glancing blows here.
The other thing they're doing, Gary, is they're separating themselves from the field, which is what they'd both like to do right now. Only have one person to really deal with.
Back to 10.
And Fred Couples, as Peter Costas mentioned, this is a tough one today into the wind.
Going with a driver today.
Yeah, I was going to say, both players laid up here yesterday. David took 3 woods today back into the wind. And that's not where you want to be. Right rough, pin in the right side just over the bunker. Fred would take it right now in the middle of the green and be pleased.
Yeah, somewhere short and left of this flag and around the center of the green wouldn't be a bad idea at the moment. He's got 9 iron, and if it's quick, that'll be a lot of club.
Needs to take it right over that left bunker just left of the hole.
Well, it came out pretty soft. In fact, it came out very soft. Wow, you know, that was a lot of club, and he just went ahead and swung really slowly at it. That's what he did. Flew it by the flag. No chance of stopping it.
Gives himself a putt at par, though.
How about Freddie, David?
Well, he has 3 wood.
Freddie likes to move the ball right to left. It's perfect for this hole.
And that's a lovely shot.
And I like to play. It's only a 24-yard wide fairway. And even that, as well struck as it was, runs through into the deep rough.
While Fred Couples' swing may look unique, it really has a lot of great fundamentals. That's where the flag is located. That's his target line. Obviously, he sets up well open with his body. These are all peculiar to Fred. But watch as he takes the club back to the top, and focus, please, on his right foot. Because as he changes directions, he works beautifully off this right foot. It's a solid fundamental for anybody to concentrate on. He pushes off the right foot, rolls beautifully off the ankle, and drives down the target line. Too many people lift that heel up too soon, and as a result, hit a lot of pushes and hooks.
Also playing well here. Now Fred Couples, David.
Well, that's a sand wedge. Try and float it up there. Needs to hurry. Oh, boy, took a great bounce forward.
And again, playing from the rough. No chance to go with the flagstick here at 11. Couples, Calcavecchia tied atop the leaderboard.
Then they find the gold here. I'll tell you, it's beautiful. Long left to righter back up the slope.
In good pace.
Fred Couples on the 12th tee.
Let's see if Freddie can pound one like he did yesterday.
He's hammered that right down the right edge, though.
Look at those things bounce. Freddie's second shot.
With half a dozen. Even tougher angle. And again, that one is drifting just a fraction to the right.
That's not where you want to go. A very difficult bunker shot. Good thing is he should be able to make as far from here. Hold it. Don't go over that green. Don't. Watch this if it goes over.
That's a great shot. I know it doesn't look like it, but that is absolutely as good as he could do.
Just in case there's any demons that have haunted the line. Freddie's going to have just a little bit of work. As you remember, Freddie from 3 feet and in was a little iffy most of his career. And now solid.
Now one behind.
Also with 6-iron.
6-iron that served him pretty well this week. At the par threes. Oh, he's a bit deep on the inside. Did he catch it solidly?
That sounded a little chunky. Oh!
Similar to the swing at number 7 that found the water. Well,
Right. And there's a very difficult bunker shot. I'm going to fly this maybe sort of 10 feet short of the hole. Try to let it run out.
if he carries it too far, then it's running downhill. That's
Boy,
really,
what an effort.
That really is beautiful.
We are on the 14th with Fred Couples, one off the lead of Hank Keeney, who faces a pivotal decision on the 18th tee. Meanwhile, Couples
back on the rails here.
Needs to get it in the fairway, and he's done an excellent job here. Freddy needs a birdie or two.
live at 14.
134 yards. This one is dropping just left of the hole.
That's an excellent shot there, David. No room left of that pin. What a play by Fred.
He was hitting to 14.
In Couples for birdie. On line again. Yes.
the 300 mark, and now Freddy earlier.
And this one down the other side. Hit very hard again. Wow. What a bounce. Oh, that's perfect.
Churning that leaderboard with every minute it seems. Let's go out to, well, certainly Bobby is a swing hole here, the last par 5 at Redstone. 15.
And a huge drive by Couples, 364 yards he hit it. David, what's he got?
Well, just a 5-iron left, 221 to the hole. He's going to try and chop this in from left to right.
You can see the open stance.
He's let a few go to the right here, but this is on a very good line just inside the bunker.
Oh, outstanding. Whoa. And even as well struck as that was, and as high and soft as it was, unable to hold the green.
Just strictly a feel thing for him here, and probably depends on the lie, Bobby. If the lie is a little too tight to get it up, putter's a good play.
Was perfect. He just doesn't like to chip it.
Right idea. He would have done well to chip it that close. Look at it.
You're not looking at it, you're thinking about it.
Couples to 19 under. Riding a lot of confidence with the putter right now. Asking for the...
On the tee, Freddy Couples, 474, just straight away. Hard fairway to hit.
And that is ripped down the center.
Absolutely perfect. You'll have a nice angle, back right pin placement. Freddy's staring it down. Not much wind right now, David.
Well, there's a little in his face back here in the fairway. He has 6-iron, 176 yards, and on any given Sunday, it would be a straightforward shot.
Perfect hole location, back right for Fred.
That's on a pretty darn good line, dropping right on line with a flag stick.
Look out, look out. Oh, that was tighty.
Came down like a loaf of bread when it hit. What a golf shot. It's never left the flagstick.
Get back there. Come on, get back there.
Hey, Keeney was next closest I've seen, about 6 feet away. Beautiful shot in there.
Freddy Couples, 2-shot lead, 2 holes to go.
And they love him here in Houston.
If you will, for Couples as he approaches 17 tee with 3 straight birdies. He's 1 birdie away from 30 birdies on the week. Pretty stunning.
He's 20 under and he's made a double each of the last 2 days. I mean, that's a lot of birdies.
And Oosty, what's 17 playing like right now coming home?
Well, it's a more stern hole than it's been in the first 3 rounds because the wind's not helping as much. Any drive over 300 yards is an achievement today, and it's a challenging hole. We can see here the turn of the dogleg. Players who are not comfortable fading the ball hit it over the trees on the right, just like Appleby did, cutting the corner. And you better find the fairway because you're coming over water on the second shot. And Freddy, quite quickly, ready to go. feel much wind down there, David? It's pretty calm at the moment, isn't it?
Well, you know, it just swirls around in these trees, and it's into him from the right back here on the tee.
Very easy to aim at the bunkers. The 2 bunkers down the left look as if there's a pod of them. Fade.
That's hammered down the right-hand side. Needs to be long to get out.
Well, it's out there comfortably. It was a perfect drive on the last hole, and just right of center, about 300 from the tee. That's beautiful. So now Fred Couples.
169 yards. He has 6 iron. Back up into the breezes. Plenty of club.
What a lovely rhythmic swing.
Another good-looking swing. That is all over the flagstick again.
Safely done. Well done, Fred Couples, protecting his lead. Just 4 months into this season, rededicated himself, worked hard. Pushed a little bit by Butch Harmon. He knew he needed that somebody to really say, hey, are you going to work hard or not? And he has done. It's downhill. It has not been as fast as players expect. It's running out nicely, though.
That's a superb lag.
Creamed. Fred Couples taps in for a par. Calcavecchia bogeys. Fred Couples a 3-shot lead. 1 hole to play. Beautifully done.
We're back on the 18th, and a reminder, the CBS Evening News with John Roberts will follow golf on most of these CBS stations, so please stay tuned.
Fred Couples going with fairway metal, not using the driver. Should aim this right into the right center of the fairway. And his swing is really in a groove right now, Jim.
That is hanging down the right. Needs a little kick left. Oh, yeah. Boom.
Just
boom.
What you asked for. That was really the last swing that could lose the golf tournament. And you think back to early 90s, from the summer of 91 until his win at Augusta in 92, he had 5 wins, including the one down in Jamaica, the Johnny Walker, and assumed the #1 ranking in the world. And that was really the emergence, if you will, of Fred Couples, and this today is going to be the re-emergence back in his old college town.
Well, just suppose Fred had worked as hard back then as he's working now, what we might have seen, because he's always had the talent, and he's always been a fun player to watch. So much ability.
Pitching wedge, 145 yards. Another good solid hit. Again on a pretty good line.
I would say so.
What a way to finish.
The Freddy chant begins. People have talked about what the career could have been, but I have to say he has had a lot of things that have been far more important to him than golf. And as a friend, so happy to see his life in such a wonderful position. Yes, 5 years since the last win, and there have been those who have questioned his commitment to golf, and even Fred has been fraught with some self-doubt about would he ever win again. But inside the story, there's really a far more important story. He got married 3 months after that 98 Memorial win, and no one can question his commitment to his young family. And when it comes to doubt, there is none for those who know him so well. That fulfillment, he has it now like never before. Oh, isn't it really when you go this long without a win and then you come back to a place, yes, raised in Seattle, but so much started for him here in Houston, to come back here to rekindle a career.
Right down the stretch.
And he has come full circle. Peter.
Freddie, I know you rededicated yourself this year to coming back and getting in the winner's circle. It's got to feel special to do that, but also the first University of Houston golfer to win the Houston Open.
I didn't enjoy hearing that last night. They're playing the band. First time in however many years they've had this. It's a great feeling. I owe a lot to my wife and Butch Harmon.
You're entitled, Freddie. You've worked really hard for this. You've worked really hard. You go ahead and sign your card. Back up to you, Jim.
Well, there's never a doubt in my mind that was going to happen right there. And it was, in a large part, his wife, Thais, who encouraged him earlier in the year to go for it, to rededicate his golf like the old days. And man, what a week it is. I can hear the cheers all the way back in Santa Barbara. His life is aligned. The stars were aligned back here in Houston for him. And he's going to bring home to Thais, Gigi, and Oliver a victory like they have never experienced before. What a wonderful story. Fred Couples is the champion here in Houston. For all the crew here at CBS, Jim Nance saying so long from Houston.